after 6, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Kent, quick roll call.
Grady Bonzel,
Here.
Dennis Needham,
Here.
Matt McKenzie,
Here.
Curtis Penrod,
Here.
Wally Hanson.
Here. Okay, any public comment tonight? Okay. Moving on. First item, home occupation permit, 719 Center. Zach, looks like this one's.
All right. Good evening. Tonight, brought before you is a home occupation permit by Elena Mason. The address would be at 719 Center Avenue. The homeowner, Mr. Bomey here, is with us this evening. My comments on the application are everything appears to be in order. Should allow the board to make their findings as to whether requirements have been satisfied. This property does sit in an R1 neighborhood, which meaning a nail salon would need a home occupation permit. It'll only be one station, so it should not generate traffic that would be constituting an issue with the current characteristics of the neighborhood. And all work would be done indoors and should not create a nuisance due to noise or odor, emissions, or electrical interference. I did receive one phone call from a neighboring property. Once I explained to her what was being done, she was totally fine with it and hopes the best for the applicant. From there, I would ask the applicant to go to the podium and kind of give us an explanation of what you would like to do.
Yeah, if we could have you jump up there.
Yep.
So basically, I'm just opening a nail salon, and I'll just be taking like 1 to 2 clients at a time, doing pedicures and nails. That's about it.
Okay.
Can you explain more?
So I'm not driven by the property, but just looking at the map right there, parking, got on-street parking right there, looks,
Yeah, I do have a big driveway too.
okay, there's a
Like
driveway too.
3 cars. Yeah.
Okay,
So it shouldn't ever be on the street really.
okay.
Other than that.
So in the use standards, one of the things is restrictive is signage. You're not planting any big signage on the side of the house. I think the use standard restricts it to no more than 2 square feet.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just like an open and closed sign.
Okay.
And just like a little sign that says what it is.
What questions you guys have?
I don't have.
Okay, it sounds like everybody's doesn't have a lot to ask, so,
It's not a giant salon, it's just you.
Just me, yeah.
We said like 2-3 people a day, thinking, or something like that?
Probably more people a day, just
Oh.
not at one time.
At one time, okay.
Yeah, just kind of come and go.
okay, I guess that's all the questions we have.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if you guys don't have any other questions, and to me, it looks like, everything's in order. Zach, I assume you highlighted in the packet the approval of home occupation shall follow the same procedures required for rezoning. Was that highlighted for a reason, or did you have something to call out there?
No, that was more or less just to kind of explain why the procedure was done the way it was.
Okay.
The other thing is that what you're doing tonight is just recommending approval. We actually end up having to take this to the city commission as well, which is kind of surprising, but that's what the procedure is.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
I do have a question, not just for this, but for any home occupation. Are they required to have any special insurance, additional insurance, like liability or anything? As far as the city goes, or?
Do not have an answer for that. As by code, no.
Okay,
Legally speaking, I'm not an attorney.
okay, yeah. I didn't know if that was legit or not, or what. So,
Good question.
yeah, because,
No.
like, we had one guy who made signs out there and he's gonna have a torch and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. So I didn't know if that was required to have additional?
I'm sure whoever you have insurance through would have some sort of say in that.
Okay.
Probably a good question for your homeowner's insurance. Okay, any other questions or discussion? There is a recommended motion in the packet I would entertain.
Where's that? I move to recommend approval of the home occupation permit for a nail salon with no more than one workstation for Elena Mason, the property located at 719 Center Avenue.
All right, moved by Grady, seconded by Dennis. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, very good. So now it's on to city commission, and they will decide. So, step one, done.
And that'll be, and
Yeah,
Monday,
Monday.
5 p.m.
5, right?
is when the meeting starts. I'm assuming it'll be towards the beginning of the meeting.
Okay.
We wish you luck.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, you guys are free to go. You're welcome to stay if you want to watch the rest of the meeting, but you can go. We understand. Yep, thanks for coming.
You too, thank you.
Okay, moving on to number 4, conditional use permit for 718 Caldwell.
The applicant did say he was gonna be here, so I am unsure of where he is at right now. What is brought before you is a conditional use permit. The address is 718 Caldwell Avenue. Applicant is Harold Sneathen. The reason they are requesting the conditional use permit is they would like to construct an apartment as a second story above the existing structure. I'm not sure if anybody drove by and kind of looked at it. It's flat roofed from where the parking lot and the building start all the way back to the addition of the newer building on the back half of it. What he intends on doing is the back half is going up with that and tying it into the bigger half of the addition structure that is there. And then that will be the apartment of the facility structure. The reason they are doing so is because they are moving into town from the farm and needed somewhere big enough to store everything, and they would also like to be able to live there instead of having to have that as well as a house payment. The standards, this is where the difference is from the home occupation permit was tonight. You will have to make written in findings, which will be brought before you for the location and size of the proposed use in relation to the site and to adjacent sites and uses of property, and the nature and intensity of operations proposed thereon, accessibility of the property to police, fire, refuse collection, and other municipal services, adequacy of ingress and egress to and within the site, traffic flow and control, and adequacy of off-street parking and loading areas. Utilities and services, including water, sewer, drainage, gas, and electricity, with particular reference to the location, nature, and location, availability, capacity, and compatibility. The location, nature, and height of structures, walls, fences, and other improvements to their relation to the adjacent properties and uses, and the need for buffering or screening. The adequacy of required yard and open space requirements and sign provisions. The general compatibility with adjacent properties, other properties in the district, and the general safety, health, comfort, and general welfare to the community. The application appears to be in order and should allow the board to make their findings as to whether all those requirements have been satisfied. This property sits in a C1 zoning district with the properties to the north and south also being zoned C1 as well. Josh has it up on the map for us. It does have R1 districts directly to the east and west of it. However, the property directly to the east is the Knights of Columbus building, so it's not really a residential use. It just kind of falls there. Going back to those standards that I read off just a second ago, The location and size of the proposed use will be consistent with the nature and intensity of the existing adjacent properties. There was a business that moved out of that building, so that will remove a portion of that traffic for that area. Obviously, that is a major intersection in Goodland, so you're not gonna reduce very much traffic regardless of what occurs there. The apartment would just allow for the owners to utilize the property to the full extent for their needs. Everything is already in place for the police, refuse collection, and other municipal services. All the utilities are in place. However, an additional panel will have to be installed for the apartment, but should not cause major issues. The addition for the apartment will be consistent with the current height of the newer addition of the building, so it's not gonna be anything that's gonna be towering over anything else. The only required amount of yard for this property would be in the rear, as it abuts a residential district, and that would be the 5 feet required, and that was already established when the addition was placed on that building. Josh, can you zoom in just there? But that gives you an idea of how much room's actually between the back of the building and the property line there. If Josh pulls out the ruler, I'm gonna guess that's 11 GIS feet.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
You already measured that.
I might have measured a time or two on here.
He's
Trying
got
to
a
show
gift.
off.
Eagle eye.
And then the last part was the conditional use is compatible with the adjacent properties, how they are residential to the east and west and commercial to the north and south. So them using it as basically their storage unit, and also the garage as their garage in the back, and then building the apartment. It kind of fits in well there. With a conditional use permit, it does not transfer upon transfer of ownership. So if the next owner would like to use that as apartment, they would also have to apply for a conditional use permit.
How is that noted or tracked so that the next owner would know that?
I believe that would be the duties of the owner to
They have to
disclose
disclose
that
that.
information.
It would, yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
I'd tell you more about it, but I don't know too much about it. See, this is my brother.
Zach, have you been in the facility or the building to look and make sure that structure is good to build up?
All of the roof of that is gonna get ripped apart basically and then built up from there. So that remaining portion that looks really sketchy, he wants to get rid of that
That's
completely.
going away.
Yeah, he wants to
Okay.
get rid of that completely.
Yeah. And,
That was the first thing he brought up to me. He was like, I know how it looks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I did also tell him that with it being a commercial property, it will have to have engineered plans.
That's
Will
gonna
have
the
to be a
next
general
question.
contractor,
Yeah.
so he is aware of all that. He just didn't wanna go through the steps of getting all of that done and then this not be approved. So he wanted to get the approval before going through with the next steps of everything.
Okay, any other questions? So, speaking of next steps, I see there's a motion, but, did I see something about a public hearing in here, or did you say something about that in this? Does it need a public hearing?
That's what both of these were, basically.
Okay.
He didn't open it as a public.
Yeah,
No.
that's why I'm
Yeah.
asking.
No, but they both were public hearings.
Okay,
Or they were noticed like that.
they were noticed
Mhm.
like a public hearing. Okay, so notice was given,
Yes,
people could have been here. Okay. All
yes.
right.
They were published in the newspaper
Okay,
well beyond the 20 days.
fair enough. there's no other questions, there is a recommended motion I would entertain.
And this is the same way, this is a recommendation.
Yes, on to the city commission.
On this.
I can do that. I move to approve the conditional use permit for a single apartment property located at 718 Caldwell Avenue.
I'll second it too.
Okay, moved by Grady, I'll give that one to Curtis, second by Curtis. All in
Okay.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. All right, send that on to the city commission as well. Okay, guys, we're burning right through this. Let's move on to reports. So Grady, anything to report?
Nothing to report.
Dennis?
Nope.
Curtis?
I just looked through some of those other, what did you send out earlier in the
Oh,
week?
the,
Planning.
yeah.
When is the next time we're gonna chat about that?
Oh, the comprehensive plan?
Yes,
stuff?
comprehensive plans.
When staff doesn't have budget to do.
They're a little swamped.
Yeah, either at next month or 2 months from now, as far as preparing a possible work plan going forward and what your comments would be on that.
Yeah, I just had time to go through one in detail and sort of skim the rest of them, so I wanted to make sure I had more time to. Perfect.
Okay.
Otherwise, nothing.
All right, Wally, anything to report?
Oh, I just found it interesting to watch them lift that house off the foundation over there across from the high school.
Yeah,
Get it moved, and progress is being made.
it's an interesting process.
Still a hole in the ground, a
Yeah.
bunch of debris there too.
Yeah,
I know.
that'll be a one-way street, won't it now, going north there for 1 block?
Yep.
That's the plan.
That's the recommendation. We gotta formalize
Still
it.
working through that.
But, yeah, that's, everybody seems to be in favor of
Okay. I don't have anything planning commission related, but I'd make a plug for Friday night. The very first Park and Play with SCCD will be going on, and so come out 6 to 8 o'clock, watch a little free music. So that's all I got. Okay, minutes. Oh, minutes. Oh no, never mind. Staff reports. Kent, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
it. That's all right.
Kent.
Last night we had a presentation by a possible housing development on the northwest side of town, so. And there's actually copies of his presentation sitting on the table that they're just left over from last night. It
Okay.
wasn't made specifically for you, but you can take a look at it. The other thing that we included, or Zach made copies and put in front of you is the fee schedule, which is, as far as I can tell, the same as it was in 2001 when the comprehensive plan was adopted. And if we're going to be having several of these coming forward, might be a consideration whether to make sure there's a couple things on here. One is, and it has it on there, but maybe I want to check regarding the actual language. It does state regarding a deposit for the actual cost necessary to process their request. Because when you get into bigger plats and other types of things, often you end up consulting with a professional planner and also the engineering to check everything, make sure the city can accept it. So that's something to be aware of if we would get a larger plat. We haven't received one in a long time in this community, but that's pretty regular business in other communities. In addition to that, some of the other ones just giving you an idea about what would we charge for those type of things. And if you have any comments on that, staff would look to make a recommendation to you at a future meeting regarding those fees.
I'd be interested to know if you had to go consult, you know, a professional or an engineering firm, what the charges would be, and because I feel like that $100 deposit would be gone in like,
A minute.
yeah, not even through a phone conversation.
Usually it's a few grand
Yeah,
a piece.
so
So,
I feel like this needs review and probably modernization for what the actual, reflect what the actual fees would be, especially on the ones around preliminary plats, final plats. Some of these other ones, maybe they're not, you know, not as big of a deal, but some of those probably need review.
well, and we still want to encourage people to submit everything.
Right, I don't wanna make
And
it
not be.
cost prohibitive.
Yeah, you don't, I don't think it needs to be $1,000, but
No,
you know, $100 doesn't go very far if you gotta talk to an engineer,
right.
so.
They might cut me off in the middle of the phone
Yeah.
conversation.
Time's up.
Please deposit more money.
So, sounds like a good thing for future review.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay, Zach, anything? Okay, now we'll move on to the minutes from May 12th. Everybody have a chance to take a look. Anybody see any additions, corrections, subtractions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
I will make the motion to approve the meeting minutes from May 12th.
I'll second.
Okay, moved by Curtis, seconded by Grady. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, guys, I move we adjourn.
I second that.
All right, moved by Matt, seconded by Dennis. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thanks, guys.